I just realized I have purple for Undertaker. I can turn this into lightning.
Oh.
Do you want to see lightning?
It does lightning?
It does lightning.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, so it just does it once in a
Yeah,
while.
it just flashes.
Yeah. Oh, spooky.
That's spooky.
You can add some. You're gonna have to add some sound effects because lightning sucks without thunder, huh?
It's time to hack the movies with Tony and this other person.
Hello, Kieran.
Hey, Tony.
How are you?
I'm well.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm doing great. Let's pause for like the 5 people who leave angry comments every time a mask is shown on the show.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. We get angry comments. Whenever we post a picture of a mask on our community posts, people think we're making some kind of statement or have an opinion on something. And every single time we're like, hey, well, the place we're at requires it. And then they yell at us nonstop.
Yeah.
So here you go. Get it out of your system early, guys. Get it out. Get it out. All right, let's start the show.
Yeah.
Kieran.
Yeah.
The Undertaker.
Yes.
What do you think of The Undertaker?
I think he's also... So I think he's one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. He might be the greatest wrestler of all time.
Definitely the greatest, most consistent character of all time. Yes.
I think, so my favorite wrestler of all time is Stone Cold Steve Austin, but I don't think anyone is better than The Undertaker, I guess. I think that when it comes to being a wrestler and being the guy who, like, he's just been in the business the longest, probably, like, consistent, like, compared to other people. I know there's been wrestlers like, you know, you got Hulk Hogan or like Ric Flair or whatever, and they have been, but he is still the guy that's like, oh, Vince, you need me to go out and put on a show. And
he's retired now, but up until last year.
But yeah, that's what I mean.
Since we were kids up until last year.
And Undertaker is, when I first started getting into wrestling in like 1990 or something, I think it was, because he debuted, I believe, 1990
at a Survivor Series.
Yeah.
The same day as the Gobbledygooker.
Really? Oh my God.
The egg hatched.
Was it?
And history was made.
He debuted. Did he fight Kamala there, or was that later? There was a SummerSlam where he fought Kamala.
I can't remember who he fought there.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember I have a tape of like the greatest SummerSlam's greatest matches, and it's him versus Kamala, and it ends with Kamala getting disqualified.
No.
And then like that's it. It's actually like not a great match.
No. We got a DVD here. Undertaker Buries Them Alive. Includes Undertaker versus Undertaker.
Oh shit.
Remember when he fought a clone of himself?
Yeah.
What was that about?
Well, I remember too, like when he died.
Yeah.
And it was like there's been Undertaker sightings all over, and like you would watch like WWF Mania or whatever on Saturday morning, and it'd be like people claim they saw the Undertaker. Like Todd Pettengill will be talking about it.
Yeah. Undertaker versus Quang.
Quang. I don't remember Quang.
Undertaker versus Yokozuna.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
that's a classic one.
Yeah. Undertaker versus Jim the Anvil Neidhart, obviously, and Undertaker versus Jerry the King Lawler.
Mm-hmm.
But like, all right, so it's the early years, but yeah, what, Quang? You don't have Hulk Hogan on this? Like, he wrestled Hulk Hogan and shit. I guess he didn't beat Hulk Hogan.
Also, I believe it's pronounced Neidhart.
Is it Neidhart? Did I say Neidhart?
You need heart, Tony. You need more heart.
But yeah, no, I've always been into The Undertaker. Like, even when I wasn't watching wrestling for a while, I still really liked The Undertaker. I would go back and watch his old matches. I had until a few years ago, because I sold it, I had the Phenom VHS tape.
Yeah.
Which is about, like, his early years up until, like, the Mankind match. Which, by the way, Kieran, did you know that on our Patreon, I have a video of me and Mike Matei watching the
Yes, I do know that, actually, yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You were just very excited to let me know that you knew that.
Yeah, I do.
And it's a very, very good video, which you can get at the $2 tier on Patreon, so check that out.
Yeah.
Oh! So that wasn't supposed to happen. That was not supposed to happen. Dude. You hear JR saying, please stop the match. Yeah, he's had so many classic matches, obviously Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm. That's probably, and that's also, too, probably one of the all-time greatest matches. Like if you did a top 10 list, it's got to be on there somewhere.
Yeah.
It was revolutionary. Like people had never seen wrestling, had seen Mankind going through, and I know a lot of it is because of what Mankind did, but Undertaker, he was the one who tossed Mankind.
Yeah.
You also wouldn't want to see Undertaker take that fall. I don't think he could.
No, he started that match with a broken leg.
Yeah. Well, he used to do things like he would they would say he would have broken ribs and he would duct tape phone books.
Yeah.
And go out and do a 30-minute match with broken ribs. Like,
yeah, he was always awesome. And it wasn't just him, you had like the Paul Bearer aspect to it, which Undertaker, Paul Bearer, it's pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't really he only did the whole undertaking gimmick for a few years. Do you ever see was it WrestleMania 4 where he's sizing up Regis Philbin to get him ready for his coffin while they're interviewing him?
Wow, that's grim.
Yeah. Paul Bearer was really great because he didn't really talk much early on. So he was kind of like how Paul Heyman does it these days, like just talking for the big guy. You're right. When it comes to best wrestlers, I think if we're talking about like big, like tall wrestlers, he's really good because he was also like, he was very athletic and like not acrobatic, but like he could do some aerial stuff.
Oh yeah. I mean, I used to love when he would do too, like the tightrope walk.
Yeah.
Because I think he was a circus guy at first or something. He did
maybe
like
know he was originally going to be a basketball guy.
Oh yeah.
Like he wanted to be a basketball dude. Okay. And I've seen some of his early stuff like before he was the Undertaker when he was the Executioner. And he's got like a gimp mask on. Yeah. That was pretty funny. Did you ever watch any Mean Mark Callis?
Yep. Wasn't that was what's it called?
WCW.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was Mean Mark.
Just letting you, just saying, I made a reference to when we were watching the video.
Is that the birth of his urn? Is that how old the Undertaker is?
It's like this urn is ancient, years before WCW. When I said that, I meant WCW. No, so I'm just saying in case like somebody's in the thing like WWF. Like I don't know. I'm talking about when he was Mean Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, that was his original gimmick. And then he came to WWE, and it became like a whole thing. So he's been a sensation for a long time. He retired a little too late, I think. He retired last year. When
a Saudi Arabian prince asks for your presence in the match.
You know what's really sad? I watched the Last Ride documentary they were doing on the network before it became Peacock.
Yeah.
And you know what made that really sad?
What?
So they had a previous match in Saudi Arabia with him and Kane versus DX, but it was like Shawn Michaels and Triple H. And apparently it was awful. Like Kane was out of shape because he had just become like mayor. His mask fell off, and like Shawn Michaels was just so full of ring rust.
When was this?
It was recent. It was
I'm trying to think. I probably have seen it.
You probably did see it, yeah. So he was real upset with how that match went. And he was like, that was a fucking disaster. But in the documentary, he's talking about how like the match with him and Goldberg's going to make up for that one. Ugh. And then it became notoriously like one of the worst matches.
I remember when me and you would make it a point to watch them in the office because they were on at like noon. Yeah. So we would have it on in the office and we were just like, oh no. Like, first off, what's his name? Goldberg gave himself a concussion before the match even started, I believe.
Yeah.
Or was it he hit his head on the ring post? Or no, he headbutted his locker.
Yes. And what it was, he headbutted it, which he usually does.
Yeah.
He started bleeding.
But then he had already he was like, he
did the spear into the the post.
And he hit his head again.
He knocked himself out, and then he almost dropped the fucking Undertaker on his head. And
that was
I just remember me, you, and the girl who works here who had never watched any of this before. We're just watching in like horror.
I was like the whole time like this, like just
and then him when he's winning and celebrating, he just looks so fucking miserable.
Also, too, you look at them and they're pouring sweat because it's like 120 degrees there.
Yeah.
And like I remember when Natty came out and I was like, how is she in that, like she was in a full black leather like suit or whatever. And I was like, how does somebody like wrestling in that? It's an open air arena in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
It's summertime, I believe, too.
Yeah, it was.
It was like, I was like, that must be the worst.
It was. And so he did that, and then he finally He retired at Survivor Series, but his last like match was at WrestleMania, the quarantine WrestleMania, where they came up with the Boneyard match.
And I did watch that. I didn't watch the whole thing. I remember I think was that the first night of WrestleMania because there was 2 nights or whatever.
It was the first night.
Yeah. I just couldn't watch the other ones after that.
Yeah. So like it was the Boneyard match where it was a cinematic match, which is not unheard of.
Yeah.
Even with Undertaker, most of the Boiler Room Brawl is kind of that.
Yeah.
It was definitely like pre-recorded.
Yeah, I always kind of liked those ones, like the where they would go backstage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Al Snow had a good one with the Big Boss Man one year. I don't remember what it was.
Definitely not the Kennel from Hell.
No, it wasn't. But it did. I believe it was the ending of that whole like thing. It was basically like what ended their feud. Yeah. And I believe Al Snow lost, but it was a good match. Like they went pretty nuts for a while and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always kind of like those ones where they're filming it outside or something's going. But there was the one too where it was like The Rock gets a forklift dropped on him or whatever.
That was Halftime Heat.
Yeah.
That was the halftime Sunday Night Heat for the Super Bowl. I watched that live.
I used to watch that and Celebrity Deathmatch when they would do Stone Cold be like, you turn your dial to Durr. And it's like, I never watched the halftime shows. I would always do that. I was one of those like 90s edgy kids watching.
No, that was always cool. But yeah, so there were these cinematic stuff. The Boneyard match kind of brought it back. That was also the same year as the Firefly Funhouse match. Yeah. Which leads us to today. Escape The Undertaker?
Yes.
On Netflix. Because WWE's been trying to do a partnership with Netflix. Their previous thing was the Big Show.
Yeah, what was up with that? I didn't even watch it.
It was just the sitcom about the Big
funny?
Show.
Did you see it?
I didn't watch it.
Okay.
It got canceled. And now he's on AEW.
Yeah. Huh.
I think his shirt is kind of mean, the no more BS.
Well, I will say...
It's like, dude, you were the Big Show.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Well, I think the Big Show has always kind of been, in my opinion, if you have the Undertaker, who's like the best company man, I think Big Show might be one of the worst.
Really?
I think he's really, he's a big guy and all that stuff. But from what I've seen, like I watched his documentary a long time back, and he just always seemed like he hated being there. And
he did enter the business like really young.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, because he was the giant in WCW, and there was the whole like Dungeon of Doom thing and stuff. And then when he came to as the Big Show, he was always good. But like, I just never thought like. He would always be there for a little bit and then leave forever and then come back again and all that. But if you watch his documentary where he's like,
he came out at WrestleMania 36.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
No.
Fucking so. What you call it? Drew McIntyre beats Brock Lesnar, and that's how the night ends. And then on Raw, they're like, "We're gonna tell you what happened after he beat Brock Lesnar." And then they play, and it's like the Big Show came out and challenged him. And then he had to beat the Big Show on the same night as WrestleMania. And I was like, why did they do this?
What year was this?
This is the quarantine one.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, that's why I don't remember.
And I'm like, this is weird. It's like, oh, he's got a show coming out. So that's kind of why they did it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, the Big Show always kind of seemed like there was something going on where he needed to be there for the time to promote something else.
Yeah.
And I mean, for a minute, he looked like he was first he looked like at one point like he was in the worst shape of his life. Then he was in the best shape of his life. But he just always seemed like a kind of person who really didn't enjoy working at WWE, but the money was probably really good because he's straight up the biggest guy.
He is. But yeah, so we get Escape the Undertaker.
I could be completely wrong about this too. I'm speaking out of my ass. I'm just saying what I saw in the documentary, he never seemed like he was talking about anything favorably.
Yeah. I'd have to watch it, but you're probably right. Yeah, so Escape the Undertaker, this is a interactive movie from Netflix. I've not played any of the previous ones. There was one for...
Oh, there's other ones.
There was one for Black Mirror.
Okay.
Called Bandersnatch.
Oh, Bandersnatch. I thought you meant there were other WWE ones. Yeah, Bandersnatch was the other one, yeah.
There was Bandersnatch, and apparently our editor, Jessica, told us there was a Minecraft one.
Yeah, I won't be playing that one. I like Minecraft, but nah.
Yeah, so this is Escape the Undertaker. So I saw like the post for this before the trailer, and I'm like, wait a minute. interactive movie with The Undertaker and you're the New Day. And then I told you about it. You're like, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, well, you told me Escape from the Undertaker, and I didn't know it was, you didn't tell me it was an interactive. You said, we're going to do Escape from the Undertaker. So I was like, okay, I'm thinking it's just some movie, like one of these stupid, these things that are back here kind of movies. And then,
like a WWE original movie.
Yeah, and then you said something, and I was like, what are you, like the New Day in this or something? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, wait, is this, what? This is a WWE thing? Like, what? Because also, too, they just did a deal with Peacock or whatever.
Yeah.
So how are they on Netflix with this? Like,
Might have been a pre-existing one. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just weird to me. Like contracts and how everything now feels so centralized. Like everything, like Disney Plus.
Well, remember, the network is only available on Peacock in the U.S. There's still the WWE network everywhere else.
Yeah. Oh, so wait, so you can you get the WWE network anywhere?
Maybe you have a VPN or something, but yeah, now it's only in the U.S. you have to have Peacock.
No way. Do they have all the ECW stuff on it again? And
apparently they were starting to pull certain episodes.
Oh, that sucks.
To fit in with modern sensibilities.
You know, I will tell you, I watched last year during COVID. Yeah. That's what I watched.
I
watched
ECW?
all of ECW, every single episode of all the TV. And
we have an ECW tape somewhere. We can just watch.
No, I watched that, and then what I would do is watch. So I that's all I binge watched because I couldn't watch wrestling. It was just so depressing to watch until AEW really changed it up and made it like fun and put crowds and stuff in. So I watched ECW. I watched every single episode of TV, and then I would watch the corresponding pay-per-views. Yeah, and it was like.
You're talking about real ECW, right? Not Sci-Fi Channel.
No, I'm talking about like when it was on TNN. Yeah, and they're spending like the first 10 minutes ripping on how much they hate being on TNN and everything. Yeah. And then eventually, because, that one too, there was ECW Hardcore Television, and there was the other one. There's two shows. I forget which one was the TNN one, what it was named and everything.
B show was.
Yeah, it was like, so they had, they sit there, rip on TNN, and then they start ripping on how, like, oh, they decided to throw us aside because they got WWF coming in and all this stuff. Like they did not care. And then I was like,
I'd be pissed too if I was them.
Yeah. And then there was one where Paul Heyman just goes off. He just cuts a promo in the first like 5 minutes. But it was so, and that was too Mike Awesome. Yeah. His title. Okay.
Meanwhile,
we're getting way off.
Meanwhile, they were being subsidized by WWE. But yeah, we're getting a little off topic.
I think they kind of did that though because they knew that like, oh, it makes us look like the edgy, company compared. So it's like, and I think Vince McMahon knew like, hey, keep it up because it makes us look different too,
Yeah. But yeah, so we decided to watch this movie because I thought it'd be fun. It's a Halloween season. We could talk about wrestling. Our audience likes wrestling. Yeah. We haven't really done a super wrestling thing on this show. So we'll find out if this is one of the better episodes or the least watched.
I guess let us know if you guys want to see wrestling. I'll talk wrestling content once in a while.
I am in talks with some wrestlers to be on the show.
Oh, cool.
So there is that. So we put it on. We filmed us playing it, so we might cut to it once in a while. So it starts off the New Day. Well, no, it starts off with The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And he's just hanging out in his mansion. But what does The Undertaker's spooky castle look like, Kieran?
It's a reality TV dating show house, basically.
It really, like, I don't really watch The Bachelor or anything, but it looks like one of those mansions they rent out for like The Bachelor or something.
Or like it looks like VH1, know, whatever.
And they try to spooky it up, but like
no.
Yeah, they put like the big Undertaker tea and a couple gargoyles, and I'm like, nah.
It's one of those like cobblestone McMansions that are like someone buys it and then rents it out to VH1 or whatever, channel is making a dating show with Bret Michaels or something.
Yeah, so the Undertaker, he's
Rock
got it.
Of Love.
He's talking about how awesome his urn is. It's a very magical urn.
Yeah.
It's the source of all his power, I guess, except for when it's not.
Because it takes the souls of the good.
Yes, it loves taking the... All right, so we were joking. You find out throughout the whole thing, like, the Undertaker's urn is kind of like Sauron's ring from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, wait, is it sentient?
It starts, like, corrupting the New Day slowly. But it only corrupts 2 members of the New Day. I guess it might differ depending on what you do.
To be fair, as of this recording, we've only played it once.
Yeah.
I plan on showing my dad. You were planning on showing people. So we want to see like what the other options are.
Yeah.
I want to see like how much it branches off or if it's just like this is what happened in this room while this was happening, and then it meets up. Like, that's probably
because
what
there
it
was
is.
the one part where, like, Kofi he disappears at one point.
But we never see what he did.
We were watching what Big E and Xavier Woods were doing, so we didn't see what's going on. And then at the end of it, he just comes out with a key, and he's like, oh, hey, guys. Also, too, there was that painting.
Oh, yeah.
That they never really, like, they show it, and they make it like you think there's going to be this big point to it.
Yeah. Well,
and then not really.
Well, we'll get to the painting. So the New Day, they seem to have just decided to go to the Undertaker's mansion.
We want to add the power of the urn to the power of positivity, because then we'd be unstoppable.
What's also kind of weird is, like, it's a spooky house with the Undertaker in it, but he has, like, a Ring doorbell.
Yeah, he does. It's like perimeter breach.
Yeah, it has like alerts, and it's all high tech and everything.
And the Undertaker's in a room full of monitors.
Yeah, but they're all old looking. They were like weird old, like.
Well, the whole mansion is old and modern. Like, there's sometimes where it's just like. It's like looking like you just went to someone's house and put a couple scary lights up.
Yeah,
and then there was like, remember there was one shot where there's like just a modern, like, carpeted, nice hallway, and then they go into like scary spiral staircases. Like,
and the spiral staircases totally look like someone basically bought a spiral staircase and
just propped it up,
stapled it to a wall. Yeah, like it's a set. There's no way like this was all filmed in this house, and the house is definitely somewhere in Connecticut.
Probably. Like. Oh, we forgot to mention the very first decision you make is not a real decision.
Yeah.
It's like the Undertaker's like, are you going to come in and grab the urn? And your decisions are like, go in or no, I'm too scared.
Yeah.
Are you
I'm too scared, Tony. I'm too scared.
Oh, okay, we're too scared. We're too scared.
I'm too scared. Oh.
Wait, all the credits are the Undertaker.
Which, let me tell you, is quite the undertaking.
Yes.
To be, a one-man crew like that. This was quite the production.
But it's a fake out.
Yeah.
I know that word. Johanna didn't know that word in a previous episode. She couldn't think of the word fake out.
She didn't know fake out? It's two words that...
Well, yeah, she was trying to think of, like, what the term was, and she couldn't think of it.
She's like, it's like some sort of not real opposite of kind of thing.
So the first decision is not a real decision, which kind of bothered me, but it was kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so next, we kind of like, and it's probably different for everyone, we kind of like made Big E the star of our playthrough.
Yeah.
Like, you get three options, like follow the whispers, follow the lights, or follow the fog.
Yeah.
And we decided to just go with Big E with the whispers.
Well, so the thing is, the first three things you can do is a basement with fog.
No.
Another thing I forget, the whispers upstairs.
The whispers on the staircase.
And then it's a room that's just a curtain with strobe lights behind it.
Yes.
And it's like, well, I want to see what that is.
I gotta know what that is.
Going to be other than strobe lights in a room. Like, it's not like, it wasn't mystical looking light. It looked like they got a Spencer, like this, and strobed it behind a curtain. Like, I was like, are we gonna walk out into Madison Square Garden? It looked like.
I just realized I have purple for Undertaker. I could turn this into lightning.
Oh.
Do you want to see lightning?
It does lightning?
It does lightning.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, so it just does it once in a
while.
while.
It just flashes.
Oh, spooky.
It's spooky.
You're gonna have to add some sound effects because lightning sucks without thunder, huh? Never really thought about it. If you don't have thunder, lightning isn't scary.
Yeah. Just like, look at that.
Yeah, like thunder.
I guess unless you're
itself,
next to it and it's striking something.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like thunder's really the hero when it comes to thunder and lightning.
Yeah. So where were we? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Big E tries to mess with the urn and he gets thrown into the Undertaker's throne.
Yeah.
The big Undertaker
he's
chair.
sitting on the throne. He's like, look at me. I'm Big E.
Oh yeah. He's like, I'm Big E. I'm really cool. And then it starts draining his soul.
Yeah.
So now we have a ticking clock element. They break him out, but they realize like, oh, your soul is going to be absorbed by the urn.
Yep.
Through a series of tubes and stuff. It's kind of confusing.
Like the internet. The internet is downloading Big E's soul into the urn. So
they have to get 2 keys, or they think 1 key, to unlock the urn. It's because we saw the Undertaker making 2 keys in the beginning and combining them.
And laughing.
He
thought it was pretty funny.
But he tells them that the ritual has begun. You need to get the keys or I'm going to have your soul because it loves the soul of the good.
Yeah, that's what's been powering him all this time, I guess.
Yeah. So Big E
They kind of retcon things in this, like...
Yeah, Big E is like kind of like losing his positivity.
Yeah.
Very, very sad.
He's just, at first, he's like, he's all just kind of like, whatever. But then he throws up purple stuff.
Oh, yeah, he eventually starts throwing up his soul, I guess.
Yeah, it was weird. Like, he just is like, whoa, and he just throws, and they never, like, it never happens again.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, like, things that were introduced in this that feels like they had all these ideas on paper and then didn't. And it might be because we also did only play it one time and haven't seen all the stuff. But I was like, it felt like a lot of half concepts that just kept going. Like when you're playing, like this is like a game me and you would be playing when we're like 10. And we're like, ooh, I'm the Undertaker. We're playing this game and things just keep changing. And we're like, oh, now I have mystical powers. Now you're in a saw contraption.
Yes. Okay. So I want to talk about this. Like the Undertaker is basically Jigsaw.
Yeah. Mystical Jigsaw.
Yeah, but it gets to a point where this kind of becomes the best Resident Evil movie I've ever seen.
There is like a puzzle with elements that are very Resident Evil.
So the first like decision, I mean, you get another decision where it's like, are you going to go upstairs or downstairs? We picked downstairs.
Yep.
We ended up in the morgue.
Yeah.
And who's the cameo in the morgue?
Oh, Isaac Yankem.
What is that? Look at the toe tag.
Oh my God!
Yankem.
That was Kane's first character. Oh my God!
You know, they should have had like several of them that had like fake Diesel too, or something like that.
That would have been fucking like fake Diesel.
Yeah. Or like they go like he's like, oh no, Diesel, and he goes, don't worry, it's just a fake. And he's like, oh, thank
Diesel.
God,
Oh,
yeah, or something like that. That would have been pretty good too. Well,
just all of Glenn Jacobs' former characters.
Yeah, every one of them.
But I love just Isaac Yankem, MD, and then they just leave him there.
Yeah,
I'm like, wait,
no, it was good.
Wait, has Isaac Yankem been alive for 30 years and he just recently died and made it to the Undertaker?
Or is he embalmed? And then that's just.
Well, that was the funny thing. They're like, why does the Undertaker have a morgue? And they're like, well, he is the Undertaker.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, is he still doing the Undertaker business?
Yeah, it's like.
My mom died, but I found a really good mortician. he's over by that house where they filmed The Bachelor.
Yeah. They rent it out in the summertime and everything to those dating shows. And it's like, it's awkward because they're doing the dates excursions and there's just dead people.
Yeah, so we decided to let Xavier Wood go into the fog. And he gets kidnapped by the Undertaker. And then the Undertaker starts like punching him in this black void.
Yeah.
But he's got like the purple blasts of energy, which reminded us of the WWF arcade game.
Yep.
Which that game's fucking awesome.
Which also, too, not unlike M. Bison, but from the video game.
Yes.
He has those fire hands he punches you with.
I can't wait to talk about the M. Bison moment.
Yeah, because there's an M. Bison moment in this.
But here he's kind of like manipulating Xavier Woods. Like, your friends are no
he's
good.
Like, they left you and they abandoned you.
It reminds me of Scarlet Witch in Age of Ultron when she was getting into everyone's head and like, giving them like a bunch of misinformation and whatnot.
There was an episode of the tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills where one of the bad guys made one of the characters believe she could read minds, but they were only saying negative things about her.
Yeah.
So she thought everyone just hated her and was like was just talking shit in their minds about her and everything.
Yeah.
But then it turned out it's like, no, he's playing a mind trick on you. You can't read minds. That's not what we think. We like you.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like that. He's just turning the friends against each other, trying to ruin that positivity.
I just wanted to mention the tattooed teenage alien fighters.
I know you love the tattooed teenage alien
More
fighters.
people need to know about it, Tony, and if I can use the platform, I will.
That's the point of this show, really, is to just get the message out that the tattooed teenage alien fighters.
That's the end game of Hack the Movies. It was never meant to be a Tony show. It was meant to be my advertisement to the tattooed teenage alien fighters from Beverly Hills.
Yeah. So they get Xavier again. We, because of our playthrough, basically focus on Big E. We don't really get to see more of that manipulating on Xavier because they call back to it at a later point. They use the first key.
That's right. Yeah. So you get the first key and it doesn't turn all the way.
It doesn't turn because it has to be combined. Then they go down the suburban hallway into the spooky spiral thing, and then they see the painting where we get like the origin of the urn.
Yeah.
And it's just like all these like native people with Undertaker symbols and the black cloud going into the urn,
Yeah.
and then the Undertaker's throne is there, but it's vacant.
And a
we
guy
see
throwing something into a
someone
alligator.
throwing something into an alligator, and we're like, oh, is this the mystical origin of the Undertaker? Because I'm a little confused about the Undertaker.
Well, then it never gets mentioned again.
Yeah,
The
so
painting.
the Undertaker, he was just like an undead mortician, and then he was like a wizard.
Yeah, it wasn't like
and then
his
he was
brother
a cult,
burnt the place down and then
yeah, and then he was a cult leader,
Yep.
and then he was a biker,
A motorcycle guy, yeah.
and now he's kind of like an amalgam of all of those
Yeah.
things. So,
He's
like,
kind of like he's just like, guys, look. I'm
so the
tired.
Druids for him or against him? Because he fought the Druids at that last WrestleMania. I don't know what the Druids are.
I don't know, man. Undertaker just seems like he's all over the place. He's got some messed up issues.
Did you ever read the Undertaker comics?
No, but I do have
I have all of them.
I have all the Stone Cold ones.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
The Undertaker was like the first one they did. They had they made a Mankind one and the Stone Cold one, but I have.
There's also a China one.
That's right, there are. I have like I think it was like 8 issues of the Undertaker one, where the bad guy I think was the Embalmer or something.
Oh yeah.
And it looked like actually the Tom Hardy Bane mask actually.
Oh, wow.
Like years beforehand.
Stone Cold was like some town where the sheriff had it out for him and he was just beating up on police.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have to go with the alligator.
Not making any sort of statement. Just
No, it reminds me
just-
of First Blood. It reminds me
yeah,
of First Blood.
it's like that. Yeah, or it's like honestly, it's like imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin in Roadhouse.
okay.
It's like that a lot, but he's stunning people.
But I'm glad, well, he is the stunning Steve.
Yep.
I'm glad you're not making a statement. Unlike the statement you're
not.
making with that mask, that's someone in our comments.
I can't win today.
Did we mention why you're wearing it? Like, this is after too many games.
It's right after too many games.
Kieran is being safe.
I'm just, I'm keeping it real.
Yes. And now I look like an asshole because I'm not wearing one.
No, it's totally fine because I think I'm the only one that is, I think right now, but it's fine.
That's fine.
It's more just like,
I respect your decision to do that.
I talk to, like, at too many games, I talked to, like, straight up 1,000 people all weekend. I was, like,
It makes
every
sense. It
5
makes
seconds,
sense.
like, so it was, like, I just want to keep everybody.
You were like
just in
around. I was
case.
kind of locked at a table.
I was straight up, like, I probably walked, like, 15 miles. I'm not even kidding. The whole weekend, just all over.
So here's the one problem with our playthrough. They get to the room with the alligator. They figure out a way to open its mouth, but they need to reach it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Kofi's going to do his parkour stuff.
Yeah.
Then we never see it because he gets sucked away and we didn't follow him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like our playthrough, we missed out on all the Kofi parkour stuff because
Yeah.
he probably did a lot because he's kind of known for that.
Yep.
So that one, I was like, all right, I kind of want to play it again, but from the Kofi perspective. I'd like to play through all 3 of their perspectives.
Yeah.
But I love how it's just like Xavier is like, I'll lift you up, Big E. It's like
Yeah.
Xavier's like real tiny compared to him.
Which he picked him up, and I was like, holy shit, Xavier Woods is fucking strong, man.
Yeah,
Because I'm pretty sure I can't pick up Big E. I'm pretty sure I'd throw my back out.
probably.
Easy. Like, I have sciatic nerve pain. I'd be like, help. and then I have to, like, do the DDP yoga stuff, but the ones for, like, people who are like, the dude Arthur, but back when he was a paratrooper and was like,
Yeah.
I haven't been able to walk in years. Until then, I have to, like, repair myself again.
But yeah, the thing with the key is kind of exciting. I like the fake out where you think his arm is bit off.
Yeah, it was funny.
But of course it's PG, so they can't
Mm-hmm.
actually do it.
Big E, hold it together, dude. I was expecting, like, he'd come out and his arm is just bleeding.
Oh yeah, in the same room is where I think Big E finds the book.
Yep.
Because of the library. So this feels a lot like Resident Evil, where there is a puzzle you have to do to get something.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also like, will you take the item?
Exactly.
And you kept joking. You're like, will you take the something key?
Will you take the power vial? Yes.
Yeah, he gets the power vial. Yeah, and that's like a thing where like the Resident Evil movies haven't even done that yet.
No.
Did you see there was a second Resident Evil trailer?
No.
So on Patreon, we did a vlog where we reacted to the first Resident Evil trailer. But that same day, they showed like a foreign trailer for it, where it's like more like a regular trailer without that stupid song.
Oh, yeah.
And it actually looks a lot better.
Okay.
It looks better than the trailer we watched.
Okay.
But
I mean, it looked fine.
we'll see. We'll see what
see.
happens. Yeah, so I love the whole Resident Evil-y vibe from it there. Because because you're a big Resident Evil guy. I got I've always kind of been Resident Evil, but over quarantine is when I really started binging the games and stuff again. So I got really, really into it.
That's how I played the remakes again. And I hadn't played them since they first came out.
I forget if I said this on camera recently, but I still have not played Resident Evil 3 remake normally. It's always
been playing the weird
it's always
mods.
with the Thomas the Tank Engine mod or the Shrek mod.
It's good.
Last time I played, I was Lady Dimitrescu.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's funny.
Stupid. So that was a fun, it got me kind of in the mood. You know what? I would like to give another Resident Evil movie a chance if it's got puzzles like this.
Yeah.
If fucking Escape The Undertaker has puzzles, but the new Resident Evil movie doesn't, I'm going to be really fucking angry.
Yeah, right. It would just kind of be cool to see someone in the movie be like, the fuck? A puzzle? What's wrong with these people? This is a laboratory. Why is there a puzzle? Why did I have to get this key by pressing a bunch of buttons on pictures or whatever?
Do the police always have to look for medallions and then put them into statue?
Yeah. I always love that, the way they explain that is the police chief wanted to keep terrorists away or whatever, so he placed ammo caches all over the place instead of having one centralized location because they were probably someone was like, hey, it's kind of weird as shit that there's a box of bullets right here and then you won't find another one until...
I did a video a while back with my dad where we played a little bit of Resident Evil 2. And I was just asking him questions like, Dad, what was your weapons room like? He's like, what weapons room? And I'm like, Dad, did you have to unlock your desk on your first day? He's like, what desk? He's like, this is the most amazing police station I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, what was your photo lab? He's like, we didn't have a photo lab. We had to mail that shit out.
Did you ever see there in the original, there's no bathroom in the entire building.
Oh, that's funny.
So that's why one of the first places you go to in the new one is a bathroom that's overflowed and stuff.
That's funny.
Because someone was like, yeah, there's not one single bathroom in the entirety of the Raccoon City Police Department.
It's pretty fucking funny, though.
Even in Resident Evil 1, you go into a bathroom a couple times. There's a couple bathrooms.
True. Yeah.
But in Resident Evil 2, there's not one.
If you think about the size of that mansion in the underground lab, there should be way more bathrooms.
Right? Yeah, that's a coding violation. Maybe they had.
Oh man, I'm in the underground tyrant laboratory. I really need to take a shit. It's you got to go all the way back up to the mansion. Yeah. That little room next to the tiny courtyard that's walled off.
You gotta go. You gotta walk through the sewer. So you could just use the sewer. I suppose. Maybe that's what they figured. Hey, the police station's connected to the sewer. Just go take a piss in there. It's going to the same place.
Yeah. So back to Undertaker. Yeah. You know what? I think this might be my favorite movie now, just because it gave us an excuse to talk about wrestling and Resident Evil.
Honestly, this was fun. Okay, so where are we?
We are after the library.
Okay.
They've unlocked...
Kofi comes in, he's got another key, too. He comes out of nowhere, because we didn't see what he was doing this
Well, I think he still had the original key. And they grabbed their key from the crocodile. So
no. I think he said he was like, I got it from blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait, was there only 2 keys?
I think there was only 2 keys.
Oh, I thought it was 3.
I'd have to rewatch it again. And
I don't know. He tells us that the Undertaker's been watching the entire time.
Oh yeah, because he found his room, but we never got to see that because we didn't follow him.
Yeah.
So they unlock the thing. The urn is now free, but the Undertaker tells them to touch it, you'll have to face your fears. Mm-hmm. And we were like, well, we gotta face our fears.
Yeah, of course.
Who's fear?
Let's go with Big E's. I think he's had the worst out of all this.
He really has.
Let's help him through it.
Oh no!
It's literally the prop from Saw.
It's literally that.
Yeah, at the end of I think it's Saw 4.
I think so.
Where the cop then it fills with water and he cuts his with the pen tube in.
So then spiders start filling it up, and you were not a fan of that.
No, I was I told Tony, I was like, yo, if this was me, you, and Justin, I would have been like, yeah, I'll join you, Undertaker. I'm not doing the spiders thing. Get this fucking box off my head.
So the Undertaker is now trying to recruit them.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a little weird.
I guess if they give up on their fears, they just become friends with the Undertaker.
I guess. Is he starting a new Ministry of Darkness?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's what it is.
Did all the Ministry of Darkness have to do this?
You get to hang out with Viscera and...
did Viscera try to touch the urn?
Yeah.
What do you think Midian's biggest fear was?
Is that maybe that's why they're maybe they're off doing that now in the other side. Undertaker has their souls.
Poor Viscera.
Yeah.
Mabel.
King
of the Ring winner.
Yeah.
No one ever.
Men on a mission.
Two King of the Ring winners. The WWE loves to never mention Billy Gunn and Mabel.
Well, Billy Gunn, sadly, he was fired, I believe, or something like that.
It gave rise. No, he stuck around for a while after that.
Well, no, but something happened not too long ago where he was let go.
Oh.
He like failed one of the wellness things or something. But the whenever someone fails the wellness thing,
it could just be they didn't go to the doctor.
It could be that they didn't go to the doctor at the specific time and they were let go. But like everyone automatically goes, he did cocaine, he did blah blah blah, or he was doing steroids. Everybody immediately, and WWE doesn't say otherwise because they're not allowed to say what you were doing. They can't divulge your medical shit, but they have to be like, well, the reason why we had to let someone go that everyone sees on television every day.
Yeah. But Billy Gunn, the thing is, he won King of the Ring, but all it did was, like, The Rock just totally undermined it. When he did the whole, like, my name's Billy, it doesn't matter what your name is, that became more popular than Billy Gunn's King of the Ring win.
That's totally got to suck when, like, somebody does one of those promos and it's just kind of one of those things and it pops bigger than what's supposed to.
Well, it's also kind of like when Booker T came to WWE and The Rock just kind of undermined him, too. And it's like, can we just have other people in the limelight once in a while?
Yeah. I get it. Like, there's, WWE seems like the kind of place where it's like you really gotta. It's kind of like Saturday Night Live. Like when I was watching, after Norm Macdonald passed away, and then you find out about all the infighting and how he got fired and all that stuff, and everybody's basically out trying to be the next. Like The Rock and everybody are all trying to be like, I'm the one that like they want to make movies about and shit like that. That's why I guess I also have respect for the Undertaker's. He never sat there and was like, I'm gonna leave and do movies really or anything like he stayed.
Well, he wasn't really he hasn't actually been very public until recently.
No, but I mean he always did what was best for business.
He was on an episode of Poltergeist: The Legacy.
Really?
Where he was like a demon dude. One of the things I liked about this is like I kind of want it for years for like an Undertaker horror movie. Not quite this.
You got what's it called?
I got See No Evil with fucking Kane, but no.
You're almost there.
What was it?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, we're almost there. We're
almost there.
What was the biggest movie The Undertaker was in before that? Suburban Commando,
yeah.
Where he had like a little girl voice.
When I was a kid, I remember being like, "Is that The Undertaker?"
Yeah.
Because I saw that movie. I didn't see it right away. I saw it, but after Undertaker was a thing.
Yeah, I think it's right there actually.
Oh, it's good. It's such a good movie.
It's fun. It's a fun movie. But yeah, so Big E, we decided we did not want Big E to join the Undertaker.
No.
We freed Big E.
We told him to stay positive.
Stay positive. So he wakes up in like a boiler room, metal refinery or whatever.
They're inside coffins.
Yes, they're inside coffins. The Undertaker is like making weapons and he's just like, all right, you're going to have to face me now. And of course we pick Big E to fight him.
Yep.
Pretty fun fight scene.
He immediately Hadoukens Big E.
He does.
He throat punches him, actually.
He throat punches him with the magic powers.
Yep.
He's fighting all of them. They're beating him up. For some reason, the Undertaker's wearing a bulletproof vest. Not sure what that's about.
Yeah. He also has hair now.
No. Oh, so I noticed at the very, very end, the rest of the movie, his hair was braided. He had it in a braid.
Okay.
But for this scene, for the fighting, he has it just
He had it just down. Okay. Yeah. I thought they just turned him into old Undertaker.
No.
Because he's had short hair for a long time now, too. Doesn't he? I thought his hair's been like cut.
Not recently. Recently, when I've seen him, his hair's been long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
It's receding like crazy, but it's still long. So it's a fun fight scene between all of them. Undertaker's using magic powers and stuff. Yep. They almost have the one up on him. And then, Kieran, what happens with the Undertaker?
And then he uses what is it? This is simply superconductor electromagnetism. And he fucking floats exactly like Bison. What is it? And I beheld Satan as he fell from heaven.
Like
it's Bison.
lightning.
He's Bison right now, straight up. Like, is one of them gonna like fucking flash kick him into the Titantron and he just explodes?
Instead, he just zaps them with electricity.
Yeah, that's it. He's
got the other two chained up. Our boy Big E, which I don't know if we mentioned, current WWE champion as of this recording. Luckily, we kept the power juice.
Yes, we decided to pick up the power vial.
Yes, he takes the power vial.
Yo, keep it.
All right. Oh, I'm glad we held on to that. And he kind of beats up Undertaker, and then we had to choose between, like, what was it, destroy
it or take the urn.
Take the urn. And we destroyed it.
Yeah. He takes it, smashes it.
Yeah.
And then the Undertaker's dead.
Yes.
Or so we think.
So we think. And then there's a teleporting coffin that just takes them outside.
Yeah, they just get into it and then
they go into one coffin and they come out another coffin.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just, sure, why not? Maybe that's how the Undertaker's always able to get out of coffins when they lock him in there and light him on fire. He's got a teleporting coffin
with that in it. What the hell was the game? It was like a it was this Garfield SNES game we played one time.
There was a coffin?
Yeah, there was coffins that like teleport you.
What?
I don't know. We were playing it one time at my house, and yeah,
that sounds pretty fucking awesome.
It made me think about it. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad the Garfield game reminded you. I mean, I'm glad the Undertaker movie reminded me of the Garfield
that game. Yeah, it's kind of weird, I know, but
yeah,
made me think of it.
Yeah, so fucking they get out. We picked. There was like there were two options. It was like something with fear,
face your fear, or rest in peace.
Or rest in peace. So we rested in peace. And
I'm guessing face your fear just puts you back to facing your fear.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing.
That's what I'm guessing.
Like maybe you go back to like which one, and then it like.
But when you pick
choose.
rest in peace, we see the Undertaker, and he's like, you did a good job, guys. You're the best.
Yeah, he's like, my hat goes off.
Oh yeah, he actually takes his hat off.
And
he basically tells you, he's like, hey, try it again.
Yep.
But we wanted to record this right away, but I will be trying it again.
I will as well. It was a fun time.
Yeah.
I want to see like what else happens, because there's a lot of things I brought up that most of my questions might be answered anyway. You know?
Yeah. So yeah, that was Escape the Undertaker. I really enjoyed this. I feel like a lot of people probably hate this.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people probably think it's stupid.
It is kind of stupid.
It's silly. It's silly.
Fun.
I don't think it's stupid. It's just silly.
You know what? Also, too, maybe this isn't for, adult men to be playing, I guess, you ever think, like, maybe let the kids enjoy it?
Yeah. It is PG.
Yeah, no, I think it was fine. I thought it was cool. I don't understand. Why would somebody... Tony?
I don't know.
Maybe you need the power of positivity.
I am positive. I'm just saying, I think a lot of people will probably think this is stupid.
Everybody's been telling me I've been being negative lately on the internet. Because I was like cutting promos on aliens.
Well, did you go to the Undertaker's mansion and touch his urn?
Maybe that's what it's been this whole time. I accidentally touched the urn. And my soul
You wake up tomorrow and you're like, oh, I did go to the Undertaker's mansion to steal his urn.
I was in Connecticut. I was on that show that they were taping where it was 20 of us weird dudes trying to date a girl.
Yeah.
And I wandered away because I was like, whatever. And then I touched the Undertaker's urn. It was just there for some reason. And then everyone in the room was dead when I got back.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so that was Escape the Undertaker. Definitely recommend it. It's only like 30-something minutes.
Yeah, it's 31 minutes, really.
The one negative, though, when you make a decision, it immediately cuts to the decision.
Yeah.
It doesn't let the scene end.
I guess that's the thing. Like, maybe if you select over to it and then you just let the time run out, it'll select what you have. We could have did that.
Should I have done that?
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, though, that's kind of a design flaw, in my opinion.
Yeah. So that's the only real downfall I had with it. That and the mansion just looking like a bachelorette.
Yeah.
Fucking Undertaker Bachelor would be pretty fucking funny.
The Undertaker Bachelor. And it's to date. You win a date with the urn. You get to take the urn out to a dinner and feed it sushi.
Yeah.
And make out with it.
So check it out. And do you have any Undertaker matches you want to recommend?
Nah, not really. I mean, I think we talked about most ones.
Yeah.
Like the Kamala one, I know it's not really, but it's a fun match. Also, what's kind of funny about it is in the beginning of it, there's these two kids like dressed as the Undertaker. Like, and this is, before cosplay or anything. This is like 1990, probably like 92 or something. And the camera goes over to them and they just are like, And they're all like dark, edgy, like, 90s kids. It was pretty funny. Like,
Yeah.
it's good stuff though.
But yeah, I'd say check out anything he did with Kane.
Yeah.
That was a fun storyline.
Oh yeah.
But
Also, I liked when. Oh no, that was Kane and I liked the when Kane and X-Pac were hanging out for a minute.
that was a fun. That was when they
Yeah.
started talking. I
Yep.
think with the voice
Yeah,
changer.
and it was like darker, like when he talks.
So, if you made it through the whole episode, let us know if you want us to do more wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
If WWE does another one of these, let us know if you want us to cover it. And yeah, that's it from us. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Join our Patreon.
Yeah.
And follow Kieran on Twitch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, twitch.tv/Kieran with 5 E's.
And the Cinemassacre podcast.
Yes, and the Cinemassacre podcast as well.
Yes, I listen to every episode. Multiple times.
Yeah, me too, because I'm one of the editors. Well, Justin mostly edits it, but yeah.
But yeah, that's it from us. Rest in peace.
I'm going to do the eye thing. Is it doing it?
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.